Welcome to another episode of Bar Banter from the third floor of O'Callahan's at 29 West Hubbard, right here in River North in Chicago. Now, today I have a very special guest. And when I say special, I mean that in many, many ways. I have Nick Stark with me today. Nick is part of this. He's just part of the whole culture of this bar. Nick, welcome, bro.
Thank you, Brother Ted. It's an honor. You've done a great job, and I'm humbled to be here.
You know what? I do a decent job, but I'm a glorified mic stand. Your brother's the one who does a job. He's the one who puts this whole thing together.
Look at that handsome devil back there.
I know. He's smiling. He's like, damn, I know I'm good looking.
The finest of the Stark children.
He feels like he should be on camera right now, which he probably should be, and he will be in the future.
Definitely.
Okay. You basically grew up in this bar.
Yes.
I mean, you've been here since, you're just a little guy. You, your brother, your sister, your dad, Peter, runs this joint. It's just been part of your life. First of all, before we go into any of our stories, rants, and whatnot, tell me what this place has meant to you.
It means everything, man. It's literally the identity of who we are, and we've built a wonderful little business here that brings great customers and is a friendly neighborhood pub. Truly though, it's a great place. It's in an area where you can go have a conversation, make some friends, and there are no strangers here. Only friends that haven't met yet.
It's a cozy joint. I mean, like I've said before, I've been drinking here for 15 years. I used to work full-time at the Tribune Tower. I'd come down here, got to know your dad and Matt when he was here, and Dan and everybody else, and it always felt like family. It was the only place, because I call, sometimes I know at late night when you got Howl at the Moon across the street and everything else, they're wonderful businesses, but I sometimes would call this douchebag alley. And I would come here and be like, this is my place that I'm going to go, right?
100%.
So this is the 100% place where you can go and feel safe and be good. Now, the second floor bar, late night till 4 a.m., I'm in deep REM.
Different place.
I'm in deep REM by then, but back in the day, it gets a little crazy and fun.
We stay open till 4 a.m. And definitely get to see the creatures, to say the least.
But that's why we're here. We're here to
exactly.
talk about the creatures we've seen, right? So with you being here, and you're relatively young, you're only 27.
29, or 28.
Whatever.
Excuse me.
You're still a kid.
Yes.
So I want to start with like your number one story that you've seen while working here at O'Callahan's. Now, we should preface this by saying that like, it's not like this every night, but once in a while when it's a 4 a.m. bar, you never know, right?
You never know, truly. Well, first I have my funny one, and this is something that not many people know about me, is actually my first kiss was here at O'Callahan's, and it came on my very first day on St. Patrick's Day.
Shocking. She probably wasn't drunk.
No. And she was also probably close to 50, which at the time for me was a significantly older individual. But I was tasked with the responsibility of cleaning up the plastic cups and making sure the floor was clean. And this wonderful woman took a special interest to me. And clearly it was my first time on the job. And just went up to her to clear a cup. And as I reached in, she laid a big old smackaroo on me. And
how old were you? 21?
Yeah, well, yes, I was 21 years old.
Yes, he was 21. Absolutely. Okay, well, that's good. I mean, she kind of like, not necessarily popped your cherry, but she like, well, your bar.
She introduced me.
Yeah. She introduced you to like what it was like to be here late night on St. Patrick's Day, which, by the way, if you haven't been here on St. Patrick's Day for the parade, it's a shit show, but it's fun. It's a good time.
It's a great time.
Let's talk about a couple of things, because you bartend also, you manage, you bartend, you pretty much do everything. You've started as a bar back, and now
I've done it all.
Now you do the payroll, and you do all kinds of stuff. Let's talk about a couple of things that annoy us about the people who come in.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because mine is something that makes my stomach turn. I guess not makes my stomach turn, but...
Yeah, but Nick, you are completely OCD and ADHD, and everything makes your stomach turn. So
yes.
Okay, but go on.
Anyways, so I have a question. As an experienced bartender that you are, and a wonderful mixologist, you have a either 21st birthday or a bachelorette party
Mhm.
come in and clearly this is not their first bar that they've stopped at. And the overall drink order is make me something special.
Yeah, I love that. That.
What's the go-to for the make me something special?
You know, I used to try to think shit up all the time, and I used to be like, oh, maybe I'll make this, and I'll put like 16 different ingredients in it with some sweat of a bull's balls or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Love that.
But like, normally I just go to green tea shots. I'm like, here you go. Here's your green tea shots. And they all love them. So that's just basically where I
the
go
beloved
to.
green tea shots.
It's kind of, that's the easy go-to, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
fast, simple.
Yeah.
Does the job.
Yeah. And then get out. But come back.
Come back.
Yeah.
Come back for more, certainly. I got that question often, and mine was a drink that I invented, which I will not divulge the ingredients. Come to O'Callahan's, try it, and I'll make it for you. I call it the Sticky Nicky, and we'll leave it at that.
I call mine the Sweaty Teddy.
Ooh, that's way better than the Sticky Nicky.
It's creamy. It's smooth. Thank you, Patrick.
Creamy. Patrick, the day someone comes in here and sells me a beer that's creamy, I will buy that for the rest of my time here.
We're talking about Patrick Mahan, who's one on our episode, and he's just a nut job, and we love him. The other day I was working, I had like, a good lunch crowd, and I had this lady get on the phone on FaceTime at the bar.
The best.
And it was just so loud and so annoying. And people are just like...
Full volume, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah, full volume. And like, oh, you have no idea. And I was like, hey. And she's like, what? And I was like, nobody wants to hear your conversation right now, right? And she's like, well, just like she's at the bar. I go, here's the fact, though. She's not at the bar. Okay, so nobody wants to hear your FaceTime. I'm sorry, that's a pet peeve of mine. I can't take it. You're on the train, you're on the bus, you're on the plane, you're at a bar. Like, you come to just chill, right? Or have a conversation with a friend, and then you got this jackass.
Or meet someone new.
Right. Maybe you got a bad date. Maybe you need a banter. Maybe you need a buffer. Maybe you need a little bit of buffer. Like, you want to talk to the bartender because this date is a freaking train wreck, right? So, like, whatever. You don't need to hear someone's... So just don't do that, okay? Don't do it.
Don't talk on the phone on full volume.
Agreed?
Agreed.
All right, so I got something for you. Someone comes in, they walk in, and you're like, they sit down, and you say, hey, how you doing today? How's everything going? How's your day? And they just go, Guinness.
Straight drink order, right?
Like not like, I'm doing okay, how are you? Like, so the guy says Guinness, and I just go, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, man. Like, I really appreciate it. And they don't even get it. They don't understand.
Oblivious.
And he just looks at you like, what? I'll get your Guinness. It's fine. Like, what's with that?
People live in their own worlds. And, this business and industry personifies that to the highest degree. And, I think people just sometimes get caught up and forget that there's a human being on the other side.
It's true. We are human beings. We're not animals.
No.
Right.
Sometimes I'm a dog.
Yeah, you
Roof.
are. Yeah. I've been accused of that too, but whatever. That's a whole different show. That's a whole different show.
Catch us out late night.
Yeah. Let's go into something that I know that you experienced back in the past that I want to give a shout out to the people that think that just because you may be disabled physically, you're not immune to having a good time at O'Callahan's.
Not at all.
Right. For example, if you are unable to walk and you happen to be, confined to a wheelchair.
One of the probably wildest things that I've witnessed here happens to be an individual that was in a wheelchair. So I had the benefit that day to be on a serving shift. And we had an individual come to the front door that was in a wheelchair, welcomed her in, brought her in the back so she could get up into the bar. About, we'll say 15 minutes later, I see another man that was at the bar walk up and be with her, right? Starts talking with her. They seem like they're having a friendly conversation.
Sure, yeah.
And then I start to see some unusual movement, we'll call it.
Yes.
Unusual movement.
Right.
Not
on the table.
Not on the table, but
below
under
the table.
Below the table. And this man, fully able-bodied, I might add, is pants down. And, yes. And the woman in the wheelchair is making his dreams come true.
Yeah.
We'll say.
Yeah.
We'll say. And so
she didn't just buy him a shot. She wasn't cleaning a stain.
Well, she bought him a
paint.
shot, but yes, making
she
more
gave,
than that.
She gave him a shot. Okay, we got you. Understandable.
More than that.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, this is not stuff you see all the time here, but
certainly
you see this in every bar in Chicago. I mean, this stuff happens everywhere, right?
Yes.
I mean, it just does.
Yes.
It just does. One of my favorite things is, I can't get that visual out of my head right now, but I'll try to. Okay, we're good. When you're behind the bar or you're serving, how easy is it to spot people who are on online first dates?
Super easy.
It's super easy, right? Because he's all like
a mile away.
Because you're like, oh yeah, really? I like that too. Yeah, I like that too. Taylor Swift, T Swift, she's my favorite. Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, dude, what are you doing right now?
What do you do when you see the date going the wrong way?
I fuck with them.
How?
I'm like, you two are the most amazing looking couple in the world. How long have you known each other? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, I'm just saying, you guys like really, like, you seem like you're really clicking right now. Like you guys just seem like you know each other so well.
A match made in heaven.
And they have no idea what to say. And it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
So you mess with them.
Oh, yeah.
You make them feel a little uneasy,
I mean,
a little
you make
uncomfortable.
you make them, like, I make them happy.
Okay.
I'll even buy them a shot just because I'm like, okay, things are not going well right now. But like, let's just mess with them a little bit. It's kind of fun, right? Yeah. What else you gonna do? Like in this business, like,
you got to have fun. You got to make the most out of it.
We're here to serve people. We're here to make some money. But we're like, the biggest thing for me in this whole business is being in contact with people and making new friends, which I've made tons of, which you have as well.
Definitely.
Everyone has. But like sometimes when it's just like low hanging fruit and it's right there. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, no, like I really love the opera. You're like, okay. No, you don't. You don't love the opera. You're just imagining her with her clothes off, but that's okay. Like, you're just a human, right?
At the end of the day, that's what we all are.
Right. That's what it is. How about your favorite regulars? Because we have a second floor bar here, right? That is very industry driven. And when people close down the restaurants around the area here, we're up until 4. They go up to the second floor. They see Noe. He's been here 20 years, and like they all know him. And
Great guy.
It's a different bar upstairs than it is downstairs. Completely, right? But like you've got to have like one of your favorite regulars that comes in, and just like every time you see this person, you're like, oh, it's gonna be fun tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the person that I think of, and I got to give him a little shout out. My guy Roy over at Howl at the Moon.
Roy, yes,
Roy always took a special interest to me, and and in one way or another.
But you know what? No holds barred. He is like, you know what? This is who I am.
Shoot your shot, Roy. I appreciate it.
One of my favorite regulars is a guy who's been coming here for 28 years.
28
years. He has table number 6 when you first walk up the steps on your right. And
I know this man.
Bill. White-haired Bill. He gets a Jameson on the rocks. He gets in on a Thursday or a Friday at 1 o'clock. He stays till at least 6 o'clock. Steadily drinks the Jameson on the rocks. Has a cheeseburger with cheddar, medium, and fries every time he comes here. And he has missed, in 28 years, maybe missed
a handful.
Like 12 weeks. Like seriously, he's here every week. Sweetest guy in the world. Nicest guy, and his buddy Eric joins him like 2 hours later, and you hear them talking their stuff.
Like clockwork.
They're talking science. They're talking like, you walk by and you're like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? And like they're into it, right? Like I can't even imagine myself having a conversation with these dudes because I feel just dumb.
Very dumb.
Yeah, but they're brilliant and they're great. And that's a guy who like you can't show enough appreciation. Like we put a reserve sign on Fridays normally on that table. No one can sit at the table. And as a matter of fact, a couple of times, Laura Beth, when she's working with me, LB, if you know her, shout out LB. If someone's sitting at that table, she'll be like, can you move to the table over here? We'll buy you a beer.
This is Bill's spot.
Like, we'll buy you a beer, but Bill's here. And Bill just stands there and just waits. And he's like, thank you. And he just sits down and does his thing.
Boss move.
Which I think is awesome.
Boss move.
I mean, some people could say he's a dick, but I don't think so. I think Bill's being cool.
What about the regular that comes in and you're oh fuck regular?
So I have the, well, I call them the cringeworthy regulars.
Yes.
So I've got this couple that comes in maybe every couple of weeks. Man, they walk in and LB is normally working with me and we look at each other. We're like, oh, like, so they come in and like, at first they're fine, right? They're playing their
as most do when they walk in.
They're playing their online crossword puzzles or whatever, and they're just ordering their drinks, their IPA and their high noons or whatever. And then about 2 hours later, she starts getting really loud, right? And he's kind of oblivious, and she likes to just talk to any male who's sitting next to her. And in front of her husband, she'll say, I haven't had sex in 2 years. What do you think about, maybe hanging out with me? And these guys are like, what the F is going on here, right? So that's just the cusp of it. And then
just the tip.
Clearly she likes to play just a tip.
Just the
or
tip.
Or more, right? So that happens and I'm like, oh God, here we go. And so then I have to like slow down paying attention to them because I don't want them to drink too much. And then by the third hour, they're planning to get divorced. Like every time they're in here, every time it's like, maybe this just isn't working. I'm like, when they come in, I'm like, dude, my day is shot right now. Like,
you become a relationship counselor.
Right. Well, I just stay the hell out of it. And then they're in 2 weeks later and everything's fine. So that's the cringeworthy couple.
The circle of life.
The cringeworthy couple of life.
Cringeworthy couple.
Yes.
Of life. You're oh fuck regular.
But you know what? Overall, this job is great because you do meet some really great people.
Fantastic people. All walks of life, all shapes, sizes, creeds, colors, and otherwise.
You have certain people come in, and I've been here 2 years, right? They come in. Before they get through the door, I have their drinks ready.
Yep.
They've never changed a single fucking thing ever. Like
the
for
routine.
2 years, it's Bud Light, shot of tequila. That's Jeff. And Jeff is Jeff. And Jeff loves being Jeff. And Jeff has no qualms about it. And that's it. And I love that. I love predictable people. When you're bartending, I like predictable people.
I like predictable
people. I always like to
too.
be creative. And they're like, you mentioned like, it's not a bachelorette party, but they're like, make me something that you like.
Yes.
I'm like, all right.
Make me something interesting.
Yeah.
Special.
I'm like, okay, have a Malort. Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
That? That's one of my other things I love to do is just indoctrinate people into the Malort culture.
Fantastic culture.
That's a whole nother story. I give them the whole history of it. I give them everything.
The Malort cherry pop is something that you don't always get to witness. And it's a special moment.
But you know what I do is I record them while they take the shot of Malort.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. And then because there's an Instagram page with the faces of Malort. So you can upload it and you can share it to that page. And some of the reactions are priceless.
Priceless.
I mean, for those of you who don't know Malort, you're going to have to learn it.
Rubber bands and gasoline.
Like getting in a fight with your dad.
Like
ew.
Too far.
Ew.
Sorry. Not like
like
No. Yes. No. Maybe.
You know what? This just went sideways.
Curveball.
Yeah. That was a change up.
Curveball. Anyways, the Malort.
Yeah.
The Malort.
Yeah, the Malort.
An experience like no other.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like Malort and people don't believe me.
How can you? You have to have something wrong with you.
We need to recognize what's on in front of here. This is Mango Shada, and this is from, I believe, the rep is with Sazerac and with Fireball, and shout out to Vanessa who donated the bottle. This is a mango jalapeno tequila.
Mango Shata.
Yeah, mango shata.
Mango shata.
We should-
It says, sweet as mango, but still a spicy bitch.
Which is like Vanessa, right?
I plead the fifth.
No, I can say that. She's fine with that. Cheers.
Spicy.
Little kick. Anyway, the fact is, this business is fun. It's great, and I know you've lived it basically your whole life. I've lived it my whole life. I was pulling beers for cops when I was 11 years old from my parents' pub down in Florida, right? Then again, that's Florida, so that means I'm white trash. So whatever, we're fine. But I appreciate you coming on. We're going to have you on again. And your dad,
he's got the stories.
Peter's been around for 40
The
years
man,
in
the
this
myth,
business.
the legend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pete, you got to come on.
Nick, thank you for being here today. If you have a story that you want to tell from any bar, from anywhere, from any time,
We want to hear it.
DM us and let us know. We are on Instagram. We are now on Spotify. We're on YouTube. If you go to our Instagram page and you click on the YouTube page, please subscribe.
Subscribe.
We want to hear from you, right? Because this is actually a therapy session. You know what I mean?
You need that.
It's like vent about people who piss you off or people who you really like.
You really lose faith.
Some of you fuckers I can't stand.
Can't
Most
stand
of you
them.
I like, right? It's true.
Yes.
All right, this has been Bar Banter. I am Teddy Brunson. This is Nicholas Stark, and we love you.